They only reflect what you have been doing and maybe still doing. And when you see it, you change the diet. And the diet is simply words, all within you. So you assume that you are now the man, the woman that you want to be. Walk in that assumption as though it were true. Live in it just as though it is true. And then, who knows, that diet may not take more than 24 hours. I'm quite sure it would not take more than a few weeks to project itself in a way that you do not know. How do you know this little duck? And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not telling a story that someone told me. I was the one spanked for not catching those ducks the very day the order was given. And Mother was a kind of a disciplinarian that she always kept her word. If she promised you a bicycle, if she gave you a bike because you would do something, she kept it. If she promised you a beating, if you didn't do something, she kept that too. She was a great disciplinarian. I went down on a schooner to what is now called the Virgin Islands. Then they were owned by Denmark. Santa Cruz, and what is now St. Thomas, and then St. John. We bought them during the war, the First World War. That is, we in America bought them. But then I was a British subject. And I went down on a schooner to get cattle because we didn't raise cattle in Barbados and we needed the meat. And they had the dairy, all Denmark owned them. So there were dairy people. Bought the cattle, put them aboard the ship, and started back for Barbados. And we were becalmed off Martinique. Martinique has a huge mountainous volcano. We were out of sight of the island, so they couldn't rescue us. And there's no radio in those days, no possibility of contacting the mainland. And there we are, simply drifting, not moving an inch in the course of a day. And the cattle are dying. They're all dying. We were 8 days late coming into Barbados, and all the cattle are gone, from the bilge and the lack of food, the lack of water. And I thought, well, now, when I came home, they'd be so happy to see me because they thought I was gone, because the submarines, the German submarines, were shooting at everything in the area, even a little schooner. So I came in, and I came home. They all greeted me with open arms. By that very day, Mother said to me, I don't want you to go out into the sun. You've had enough sun on that schooner for these many days at sea. I must have been 2 weeks at sea, and no possibility of any shade. Burned to a crisp. Don't go out. Well, I had guinea pigs, and I had rabbits. I had to go and see how my guinea pigs and rabbits were coming on. But she told me not to go. I figured my first day home, certainly Mother will not hold it against me. So I went out, disobeying her order. When I came back in, she said, did I tell you not to go out? Yes, Mother. I thought, well, now, after all, this is my first day home. She thought I was dead. Here I am resurrected. That didn't pacify her at all. Took off that shoe, and she wanked me. And she let me have it. She was the most marvelous disciplinarian. She promised you a watch, you got it. If she promised you anything, you got it, including the whipping. So I'm telling you, a change of diet. And in our case, we are the Lord. And the Lord feasts upon words. He is the Word. And so what are you saying to yourself in the course of 24 hours? I am in want, I am this, I am that. Change it. Completely change it. And say within yourself, I am happily, blissfully married, if that's my objective in life. Reason denies it, your senses deny it. I am blissfully happy, and sleep as though it were true. I can tell you that story from my own personal experience. It works that way. And when I told the details of how it happened, people saw the means employed, which I certainly didn't manufacture them, not consciously, and judged me harshly for telling the means. But, as you're told in Scripture, I have ways and means ye know not of. My ways are past finding out. All you do is simply go on the new diet. For when I found the girl to whom I'm now married, I'm blissfully happy with her since the day I met her back in 1936. I was completely involved. I wasn't divorced, and in those days in New York City, a divorce was out. It only became legal after the very, very, very wealthy Rockefeller got his outside and then brought pressure to bear on the state to pass a decent, modest, normal, modern law, allowing people who cannot live together to separate and then seek a normal divorce. Prior to that, all divorces were simply collusion. All divorces. You paid someone to find someone, and then they signed these little things. It was collusion anyway. Well, here I am completely involved in marriage, and I want to marry this girl. I met her the very first second I saw her. I said, she doesn't know it, but she's going to be my wife. She doesn't know it yet. And simply, I slept as though we were blissfully happy.